how you used your training as a fighter to help save kids from sex and
Okay,
human
so
trafficking.
those are two way different things.
Ah,
But on the
okay.
first level, what would I tell a wife, a kid, a mother, a daughter, a sister, or a woman, a female, how to? I would tell them this. I
Uh-huh.
would tell them you need to learn what really goes on in the world so you could be aware and you take preventative steps to avoid that kind of situation. That in itself will keep you out of 99% of the trouble.
Can you say, express more? Like, know
So
what's going on in the world? Like what?
there are victims in this world, and there are predators in this world.
Right.
And the predators look for victims. They don't look for females, right?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So you need to not be a victim. And being a victim is mostly psychological, not physical. The truth of it is you have a 120 pound girl who's very fit, very athletic, all state, whatever, in whatever sport and all this other stuff. And she has to defend herself against me, an old guy that's 6'3", 235 pounds. Guess what? She's losing. Sorry. You know, what am I going to lie to you and tell you, oh, if you do this technique and this technique, that's so irresponsible.
Right.
You learn techniques so you can take advantage of a situation and get out of there is what you would do in a real life situation of self-defense. You wouldn't sit there and think, oh, I'm going to take this guy out. You know, that's stupid talk.
Right.
First, you learn how not to be a victim. Once you have that down, then you learn a couple things physically that would allow you not to be a victim, right?
Like what?
Like, for example, once you're conditioned in your mind not to be a victim, I would say you learn the parts of the body that supersede size, eyeballs, right? Psychologically, the percentage would have to be super, super low. Most people psychologically cannot take their thumb and stick it into somebody's eyeball until they can't go any deeper. Most people can't do that psychologically. That means you lose, right? So you have to be able to get past those barriers of being a victim. Now I can learn some things like, oh, okay, soft targets, the eyeballs. Now, if I just take this thumb, somebody's trying to come on me and we're all tangled up and we're fighting and I'm just protecting the parts of my head that really are oversensitive to making me go unconscious. And I get the chance to stick my thumb just like that. I'm not even fighting. I'm biting him. And then when he pulls up, I'm going to poke him in his eye so deep, I'm going to go knuckle deep in his eye socket with my hand. People psychologically can't do that. But that's what people psychologically have to learn how to do.
And
So
that would stop.
that would probably stop the life, but that would stop in many. If you're really in deep, you'll do a lot of damage. But that definitely will stop the attack. Right?
Okay. Yes.
Kicking in the groin. Here's the big disclaimer. Kicking in the groin is overrated. It doesn't work. You have to hit it so specifically right to make that be so effective that it stops a guy. Not to mention men, if any men are listening here, we've all been kicked in the groin or hit our groin some point, and you got like 45 seconds before that really kicks in. Right. Kick me in the groin, I'm really going to be mad at you for the next 45 seconds at best for you, you know? So stop with the kicking in the groin thing. Learn how to poke people's eyeballs out. Learn how to bite. Learn how to, do the dirty stuff. I would always carry something like a pepper gel. And the reason why I say pepper gel and not pepper spray is because pepper spray is a cloud that you will inevitably get sprayed with yourself if you're in any type of a situation. But pepper gel is gooey and it actually shoots out like silly string. So you get pepper gel and you train how to use it. And then if you get really good at that and you want to elevate your skill set, maybe you carry a knife. I carry a knife everywhere I go. You carry a knife, but that's a big responsibility. And if you remember, whatever you have on you, if it gets taken away, it could be used against you.
Mm.
right?
Whatever you have on you, if it's taken away, it can be used against
Right,
you.
right. So
You're right.
be selective. If you're not willing to stab somebody, don't carry a knife. If you're not willing to shoot somebody, don't carry or own a gun. Right? Those will inevitably become your worst nightmare.
You said something at the men's thing about a gun. 90 some percent. If someone wants to, can you share that?
Basically, yeah, really, I said it in the context of the gun, but in real life, if somebody is really committed on hurting you, premeditated hurting you in any way, they will do it. They'll run you over with the car if they have to. They'll sneak up on you when you're not looking to hit you with a brick. Right? If they're really committed to hurting you, they will probably do it. That's when you see on the news, look at all the news stories where all these sucker punches happen from behind. You can't, there's nothing you could do. They're committed to hurting somebody. So they go and they find a 90-year-old lady and they punch her in her head. Right?
Right.
And that's horrible because they're committed to inflicting that kind of violence on somebody. But in the situation that isn't that, the guy that's trying to get your purse, the guy that's trying to carjack you, there's been times where guys break into like jewelry stores and stuff, and they don't even have real guns. They've got fake airsoft guns, right? Those guys, they're not committed to hurting you. They're committed to doing the crime that they're there for. They're committed to carjacking you. They're committed to robbing you. They're committed to breaking into your store and stealing your stuff. They're committed to breaking into your house and stealing your stuff. So first thing I would say, give it to them. If you think that this is a situation, it's not worth your wallet, dude. It's not worth your ring, or it's not worth whatever. But at least if you do choose to defend yourself and your stuff at that point, at least now we have a fighting chance. Because he's not there to hurt me. He will only hurt me if he doesn't accomplish what he wants to accomplish. And I'm saying, you're not going to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So now we're going to see who can hurt each other. Right? So it's a different thing than somebody actually committed to hurting you. It's different. It's a different criminal. It's a different mindset.
You said something about like when someone's holding a gun, all you have to do is do with your hand.
There's some statistics actually about this, and I would have to look up what the current ones are. But years ago, it was like if you were like if you could get 4 to 5 feet away from a gun, turn around and take off running zigzagging, you're like, I want to think in the 90 percentile chance of not getting shot.
If you are 4 or 5 feet away and you start running in zigzag,
and you run away and zigzag, the probability of you getting shot, I won't put a percentage on it. The probability of you getting shot is way down. It's very hard to hit a moving target like that, actually.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So there's so many other things to do to be prepared. If I have to, let's take our police. You ever see like police videos where we actually get to the point of a physical altercation with a police officer?
Yeah,
and it's like, what is this guy doing? Does he have any training? Right? Well, because police officers have very little hand-to-hand training. They don't need it. They have a police car, and they have a uniform and a badge and the power to arrest. And then they have radios to call their friends, and then they have pepper gel, and then they have tasers, and then they have sticks, and then they have a gun. And then if all that goes sideways, then we're going to fight physically hand-to-hand, right? So I don't need in that situation, an officer doesn't need to spend, he should, but he doesn't need to spend all that time on physical, right? Because he has all these other tools in his toolbox that if he masters those, he's good.
Right.
So it's the same thing with becoming not a victim by changing your mentality and understanding your surroundings and understanding human nature and setting up safe holds for yourself and your behaviors not to go and fall into something stupid.